Bozo. How you doing? I'm just tucking you in. Alright? It's that time to sort of get some rest, shut your eyes, and go to sleep. But I figured you'd want to listen to me chat for just a little while. Just have me talk and distract you just a little bit. Just to keep you company while you fall asleep. How does that sound? Does that sound alright? If I just chat away for a little while as you slowly drift off to sleep. If that sounds good, then just rest up, lay down, get nice and comfortable and cozy. Get nice and comfortable and cozy. Get all warm, or I guess cool. Just make sure that you're comfortable. Preferably in your bed, getting ready to drift off for the night. And I'll just distract you with some random thoughts and incessant yapping. Please do actually tuck yourself in. Unfortunately, I can't do it for you. Okay, you can put this blanket around you, but I can't actually put a blanket around you, unfortunately. So get comfortable, get cozy. Make sure you're ready and able to drift off. And I'll just start yapping away about whatever comes to mind. Okay, so just relax, and I'll distract you whilst you try and fall asleep. Before we get too deep into my yapping, I just wanted to ask, how are you? Like, legitimately, like, how have you been? I just want to know, have you been having good or bad sort of time recently? I think good and bad is probably a bad way to talk about it. I mean more like, have you been having positive or negative experiences recently? Are you doing things that you enjoy? Be it hanging out with friends and family, or just sitting quietly alone, doing whatever hobby it is you like. How's it been? I hope you're treating yourself kindly, no matter how it is. myself. Nothing to complain about. Nothing to write home about either. Not a lot of interesting things really happen to me anymore. At least that's the way I look at it. Not a lot of interesting things happen. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I guess things do happen, but they kind of, like, for me, are sort of unfazing. They don't faze me. I mentioned this briefly, like 2 weeks ago now, in a description of some video somewhere. But we had, like, a bit of house repair that needed to be done. And so that's something new that I've never experienced before. Which was, I guess, yeah, it's not good. It's not bad, but it was kind of bad. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like something you deal with. If you don't know, one of the rooms in the house here, the ceiling collapsed. So, yeah, that's just something I had to deal with recently. That's about the only interesting or abnormal thing that happened recently. I mean, other than that, it's just work and sleep. And then probably a couple of hobbies like watching movies and playing video games. I haven't really gone anywhere or done anything. But at the same time, it's not like as if that's bad. I prefer to have time to myself. Just simply relaxing. Sort of letting myself unwind. And so after a long day at work, the thing I like to do is just sit back, put on a TV show or a movie, maybe make myself a cup of tea, which is really nice because it's winter. And so a nice warm drink as I'm sort of just relaxing. It's really nice. And so I always make sure to enjoy those little moments, those little things, and those little moments. So even if there's nothing that you can think of that you think is interesting or unique, if you're just sort of plodding along like myself, I'd still like to hear about it. And I'm sure even amongst those moments, there's something in there that brings you joy, gives you a little bit of happiness. So just remember to focus on those things. had a nice meal, or maybe a nice message from someone, or I'm not sure, maybe a song you like came on and you just spent the next couple of minutes really enjoying it. Something small, something simple like that. It's easy to forget that moments like that exist. That quiet, calm, and enjoyable moments like that exist. Gotta remember to take note when they do happen, so we know that our days aren't boring. No, they're not boring. We have all these little moments that we enjoy. That's how I like to look at it anyway. And I think it's a good way to look at things. Enjoying the little things. That's what you gotta do in the zombie apocalypse. I believe I've talked about that once before in the film Zombieland, which is a zombie movie that's got I'm not gonna be able to remember any of the actors' names. Just look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head what any of the actors' names are. But the main character has a list of rules to survive the apocalypse. And one of the ones he adds is enjoy the little things. I really like that. So I always try and remember to enjoy the little things. Even though there's not zombies roaming around. There's actually a sequel to that movie. There is a sequel to Zombieland. I think it's just called Zombieland 2. And I've never seen it. It's not something that I've watched. And I really liked the first film, but it was so much later that the sequel came out. That I just never watched it. I wonder if it's good. Maybe I should watch that. I have been on a bit of a movie kick recently. I've just been trying to, I don't watch like films I've already seen, but I've sort of forgotten. I don't think I've actually watched anything that was new. Well, okay, other than the new Superman film, but I haven't really seen in my own home when I'm watching movies. Nothing I've watched recently is new. It's all movies I've already seen before, but I watched as a teenager or earlier. And I'm just trying to sort of remember, or is remember the right word? I don't know if remember is the right word. But rewatch these movies to see if they hold up is what I'm sort of doing. So I started with the Hangover films because I remember really enjoying those in like my teen years. sound so old saying I sound so old saying that. But I really enjoyed the Hangover films as a teenager, as well as when I was a teen as well. I watched the Christopher Nolan Batman films for the first time. I think it was because The Dark Knight Rises had just come out, and so all of my friends were all talking about Batman, and I had never watched like anything Batman related. I was never a DC fan. I'm gonna nerd out and talk about like comic books and superheroes, so I apologize if that's not your jam, but that's just where my brain's going and what I watched recently. But I never was a DC fan. It might be hard to tell. That's a joke, but I was always a Spider-Man fan. I grew up on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, the original trilogy of them. I could probably grab it, but I'm not going to. As a kid, had like my bed covers were all Spider-Man, and my pillow covers were Spider-Man. I had like a little Spider-Man outfit too. I just was absolutely obsessed with Spider-Man growing up. And so then, of course, I knew Spider-Man was Marvel, and then Marvel had these other heroes, and so I was sort of always leaning more to the Marvel side of things. The thing I have is I still have one of those pillows, like the little pillow case that's still got the pillow, and it's a Spider-Man little pillowcase. It's not on my bed, but it's like near it, so I still have that. So I grew up on Spider-Man and then Marvel. And of course I had heard of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, all those characters, but never actually seen anything from them, any film. And I actually think I may have watched Man of Steel first. I think that was the first DC thing I ever watched, was Man of Steel, which is weird to think about. I think it was, because it wasn't until much later that I watched Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. But to sort of get back to the point that I was saying, that's another trilogy that I had watched recently. I rewatched the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, which, man, The Dark Knight is a fantastic film. Even just as like a non-superhero watching person, like I think anybody could really get into that movie. It's just like it's something special. You can really tell. And then, so I watched those, because I watched those as a teenager, and I liked them. I definitely liked them at the time, but I don't think I like truly appreciated, especially The Dark Knight. I don't think I appreciated just like how good they were. And the scene I do remember from The Dark Knight Rises, the scene at the end where does anyone care for spoilers? one of the characters, someone's dying at the end of the film, and she's just like, and just like collapses. It's the funniest thing. I don't understand. I was like, why did they not take a second take? It's really funny. But other than that, the film's probably the weaker of the trilogy, but it's still a decent film. And then, because I was watching Batman, I was like, well, let's rewatch the new one, the Batman, the one with Robert Pattinson. Let's watch that one again, because I went and saw that one in cinemas when it came out. So I watched that one again, and it's also really good, and it made me have that Something in the Way by Nirvana, the song that plays throughout the film, stuck in my head for like a week. It was just nothing but that song in my head for a week after watching that film. And it's good. It's definitely one of the better DC films. Better than anything from the DC EU, whatever it's called. Definitely way better than that. And then so I watched Batman, and I saw in cinemas recently, I watched the new Superman film, which I liked. I did like the new Superman film. It was kind of like, when watching it, the movie sort of didn't really, like, I couldn't read the film, if that makes sense. I couldn't tell where it was going or what the plot really was going to be, like where everything was leading was sort of a bit of a mystery to me when watching the film. I kind of didn't know where it was going, not until sort of the ending of the film. I went, okay, that's where everything was leading to. So I felt at the time when watching it sort of like it was dragging on, because I just couldn't piece together. Like it sort of felt like it was disconnected in its storytelling. But then once we got to the end and the resolution of the film happened, I understood why it had set everything up that way. So it like made a clear path in my head. So the film felt long, but in retrospect, it was probably the perfect length and a decent film. Although it is annoying to watch a Superman film where Superman just constantly gets his butt kicked. Isn't he supposed to be like the strongest dude? Why is he getting his butt kicked by everybody? Doesn't make sense. But other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. And now I've moved on to the Pirates of the Caribbean films, which I have a mixed sort of relationship with. I really liked the first one. I thought the second one was okay. I really did not like the third one, and I really liked the fourth one, and then I never saw the fifth one. So I'm gonna go probably through all those films now. I've only recently started those, so I watched what's it called? Curse of the Black Pearl. watched Curse of the Black Pearl. And that's just a fun film. It's just fun. It's a fun time. But that's like what I've been up to recently. So nothing like interesting really, right? It's just a bunch of nerd film watching, is it? It's not really something your average person would be like, well, why are you wasting your time? But it's, I don't know, it's something I enjoyed doing. And it's nice to sort of try and get some sort of perspective on the films I watched when I was younger. Again, I sound so old. But how about yourself then? Is there anything like that you've been up to? Any films that you watched a while ago and it's hard to sort of remember exactly what happened in the film, but you have these sort of emotions or memories of experiencing them? Is there anything like that you have? Films, TV shows, books, anything. I feel like you would you get the same sort of feelings from like, I guess that doesn't make sense. If you would like play a sport as a teenager or something, and then you dropped it, and then you picked it up again as like, I don't know, like 10 years later or something. Like, would you get nostalgic for, I assume you would. I don't know, it's not something, I played cricket as a young, I must have been like 8, 9, 10. And I was playing cricket. It's like a sport for recreation. I don't know, like after school sports was a thing. So, like my brother ended up doing footy for quite a while. Like a lot of his like he played it longer than what I did for cricket. Like he ended up doing multiple years and did it like, it's hard to explain. I'm gonna have to explain like how it all works here. Basically you have like Oz kick, which is like 6-year-olds to like 11-year-olds or something, and then you have the 13s to 18s or something, which is like the junior footy league. And the like local suburbs all have their little teams, and so he did that like up until he was 17. So he stuck with footy, and by footy I mean like Australian football, so AFL, Aussie rules. I don't mean gridiron or rugby or soccer. I'm talking about Aussie football, which, if you have no idea what that sport is, it's definitely worth like a looking into, because the sport is kind of nuts sometimes. It's imagine like American football, but at all times you don't like stop to do plays. It's just constant go 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 go, and instead of there being like one goal or like an end zone, there's 3 goals. Imagine Quidditch from Harry Potter. That's how I always like to look at it, because you have an oval is the playing field. It's not like a square, it's not a circle, it's like a big oval, like what you would use for cricket. It's a big oval, and then you have 4 poles on both sides, and so you have the middle goal and then 2 other goals, or what we call the behind, next to it. And so you get 6 points if you get it through the middle goal, and you get 1 point if you get it in the side goals. It's really odd to try and explain AFL to someone who's never seen it, but I always think, I'm like, man, it sounds like I'm explaining Quidditch to someone, because Quidditch has the oval, and there's like weird point systems. It's like you get 10 points if you get it through one of the 3 hoops, and then you get 150 points if you catch the snitch, and it ends the game. It feels like I'm talking about that when I'm talking about AFL. Anyway, sorry, I got a lot yappy there. What was I saying? Cricket, that's what I was saying. I used to play cricket as a kid, and so I did 2 years when I was like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that age range. I played cricket when I was that age, and so I wonder if like now, if I went and joined like a local league, would I get sort of flashbacks or feel nostalgic for the time that I was playing as a kid? Would I get that the same way that I get these sort of memories and flashbacks of TV shows and movies that I would watch? I wonder. How you going there, Bozo? Slowly falling asleep. Slowly drifting off. It's okay if you are. You can rest. It's alright, you don't have to listen to me. I'll try and slow down my talking. Get a little quieter. Try not to accidentally wake you if you're sleeping now. Hey, so it's okay, you can close your eyes. Hey, I'm still gonna be here for a while, still gonna chat away to you. But you can close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Drift off to sleep. I'm still gonna be here for a while. Still gonna chat to you. But try and lean into that sleep a little. Just lean into that sleep a little. Don't let me distract you from sleep. into sort of watching anime weekly again. I am a bit of a nerd when it comes to anime, but I sort of fell off the seasonal anime that came out. And it gets to a point where it felt like I was just watching stuff for the sake of watching it. I wasn't actually watching a show because I was interested in it. I would just look at what was coming out that season and then pick something and watch it. And so I moved away and decided I was just gonna watch already finished shows that interested me. And I did that for a while, but then I ran out of shows to watch and just sort of stopped watching anime. But this season has a couple of good shows coming out. One is the second season of Sonobiskuto, or whatever I can't remember. My Dress Up Darling. That's its English name. And I had watched season 1 of that, so I thought, okay, well, let's watch season 2. But also, I can't remember its name. The blooming flower, the fragrant flower blooms with dignity, I think is its name. Its English name. But it's a manga that I read a couple of years ago now. Maybe not a couple of years, maybe a year or two ago now. I read it and absolutely fell in love with it. It's a very sweet, sort of slow burn romance story, sort of akin to, I guess, Ore Monogatari would be a good kind of example. Or, Koi no Katachi, a silent voice, would be maybe another sort of good comparison. It's like the stereotypical trope of delinquent male lead, and then the sort of reserved, quiet, small female lead, and they have this meet cute and then sort of make each other come out of their shells or tone down and make each other become better people. I do like stories like that. Like the main character in this, he is sort of, he's a delinquent, but only because that's what people expect from him. And so he kind of shut himself off and just did what people expected of him. And the female lead, she kind of does the same thing, but obviously it's different because of the different expectations of both of them. But she becomes more, what's the word? She comes out of her shell. She becomes more assertive and boisterous, I guess. She becomes more Assertive is the good word. Assertive. She tells people what she wants and isn't so shy anymore. And he kind of tones down, stops acting like a big bully. I think he's never a bully, but he kind of tones down the delinquency, tries to focus on becoming a better student, a better person. It's just a sweet story about these two people who sort of bring each other up. And then first is through a friendship that then sort of blooms into a relationship between the two. But I'd read the manga for that, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And so now there's a anime adaptation, and so far it's really, really nice. So far it's been really nice to watch. I guess along the lines of what I was saying earlier, something I had experienced before, it's nice to get a new perspective on it. It's nice to get a new perspective on something I had already experienced. But it's made me come back to watching seasonal anime, and I'm now sort of looking to see if I can find the next sort of show, season. I don't know what they call it. I'm really bad with words, if that wasn't obvious. I can't think. It's know what I mean? I've been looking at like this season to see if there's anything else that I wanted to watch, and I really want to get back into watching sort of shows weekly, like week to week, just because it's nice to have something to look forward to. I have that show, I'm like, yeah, let's go. It's coming out in a couple of days and I get to watch the next episode. But highly recommend the fragrant flower blooms with whatever the name, I don't know. You'll know what I mean when you find it. You should be sleeping now anyway, so don't be looking things up. Okay, don't be looking things up. You can do it later. Just keep it tucked away in your brain and you'll remember to look it up later if you want to watch it. Okay. Okay, numbers. I hope you're fully asleep, fully rested, fully relaxed. Yeah, you are sleeping now, right? That was the plan. I guess unless you were listening to this at work or something, unless you were listening to this at you have left. All the effort you have left, just put it towards relaxing. You can sort of stretch tense muscles if you like, but just get them to relax. Okay, it's time to sleep. Alright, it's time to sleep. I've got one more story to talk to you about. Okay, it's not really even a story, it's just another hobby of mine. And one last thing I was sort of planning on saying. Okay, so you can slowly just tune out what I'm saying. It's okay. You don't have to listen to me. It's just here, so if your brain is active, you can focus on that instead of letting it distract you with thoughts of how there are no male cows. Don't let that thought distract you. Okay? The answer is the male cows are called bulls. There you go, I fixed it for you. It's time to sleep. Okay, Bozo. Okay. I lastly just wanted to talk about Night Rain. Elden Ring Night Rain. I have been playing that like crazy recently. I am not a Souls fan. I'm not a Souls fan. I'm so sorry that I'm talking about more nerd stuff. I apologize. I am a nerd. I hope that's okay with you. I am a huge nerd. I play video games. I read books. I read comic books. I watch anime. I am a nerd. Okay? I'm sorry. You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell I was a nerd. Like, I mean, you're in my room right now, and I've got, anime figures, anime, I've got light novels, I've got manga, I've got an old, there's a name for it and I'm blanking on it. Let's just say TV, because that's what it is. I was trying to say the specific type of TV that it is, but anyway. You can't tell that I am a nerd. But I've been playing a lot of Night Rain recently. Elden Ring, Night Rain. Like I said, I've never been a big Souls fan, so Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, 3. What are the, I don't know if there's more FromSoft Souls games. I'm trying to think. I know there's like Sekiro and like those other ones, but I don't think those are FromSoft. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I played Dark Souls 1 and I didn't like it. And then last year I bought Elden Ring. Sort of way later, after everyone had already been done with the game and had finished it. I bought it and I actually really liked Elden Ring. I thought it was fun, but I didn't beat the game. I sort of got to a point where it's like, I felt like I had experienced the game. It would have been nice to beat it, but I got to a point where it felt like I needed to sort of like min-max my character, or like use a walkthrough to get items that would have been beneficial. It didn't feel like the open world exploration that it had been, and so I kind of fell off a wasn't that it was difficult or I didn't know what I was doing. It just felt more like the way I was playing wasn't optimal. Boss fights would take me quite a while, but I was using things that were probably way underleveled for what I was trying to do. This will only make sense to people who have played this game. I don't know why I'm saying this. Not the point. Point is, I had played Elden Ring, and then they made the sequel spin-off tie-in game, Elden Ring Night Rain, which is a multiplayer sort of boss rush Fortnite thing. The only thing that's Fortnite is it has like the rain that comes in, but it's you and two other people. So there's three players, and you go around a map, and you basically just kill a bunch of bosses doing the combat of Elden Ring. It's quite fun. It's quite a fun game. But I've been playing a lot of that. Recently. And it's really fun playing that on the Steam Deck. It's like the Valve handheld console for your PC games. But the game can also be annoying because it is a Souls game. So you still have the bloody annoying boss like wind up times. The game's a lot easier than any of the others. The combat's definitely different, but you still have that jank that you get. But that's all I've been playing recently is that. I really want to play more games. I miss sort of the feeling of having a new game to experience. I was also playing what's it called? Mists of, I'm gonna say Mist of Planetary, but that's not what I mean. I'm so bad at remembering things. It's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. What's the time? Let me check the time real quick. Okay, it is 1:30 in the morning, and I am very, very tired. I stayed up late last night. My brain is imploding. I stayed up late last night too. I stayed up till about 2:30, 3 a.m., something like that. So I am quite sleepy. I really need to properly catch up on my rest. But I'm here for you. I'm here to focus on you. We're getting you to sleep. Once you're sleeping,